Hi, love. It's Lindsay Landry, energy healer, heart shaman, and mentor for healers and soul led entrepreneurs who are ready to create deep success and prosperity on their own terms. I'm so delighted and honored to be here with you this morning. And I had a transmission come through in my morning practice, and I actually want to share it with you. We're going to dive into an energy practice in this episode. So I want to invite you to grab a piece of paper and a pen because you may want to write some things down or journal as I bring you through this process. So what we're going to be exploring here is, are you available to receive the clients in cash that you're deeply desiring? And also, how can we expand your capacity and expand your availability to allow that to flow into you? So when I'm working with my clients on the Sacred Success program journey, one of the things that we work on is expanding their energetic capacity. We can want something all day long, we can dream about it, but if our nervous system isn't regulated, if we can't energetically hold it, then it's going to keep us on that roller coaster of, maybe money flowing in and then it flowing out, or we're actually doing more work in our business and we're still not attracting the results that we want, right? Because part of us is really wanting to receive clients in cash. So we are, whether we're brainstorming and trying to figure out like how to get into alignment with that, or maybe actually putting out a lot of content. But if there's part of you that has the brakes on, is an absolute no to that, right? It doesn't matter how much external work you're doing. If your system is not available to actually receive it, then more than likely you're not going to receive it. So I'm going to be bringing you through an energy practice to create some spaciousness, to help open up and soften your system so that you can actually begin to receive, and also to see these parts of you that might not be fully on board. And we're going to get really curious about, is there a way, is there something that needs to happen for these parts of us to get more fully on board, with what we're doing, with where we're going, the work that is wanting to flow through us, right? Because I truly believe that growing a business, allowing yourself to create in your business, you are a vessel of the divine. And if you are 100% committed to that, what is flowing through you is a divine creation, right? It's important. So grab your pen and paper and let's go ahead and dive in. So let's just take a few breaths as we arrive here. And just to give your mind a little bit of an orientation of the process, I'm going to ask you some questions. And then we're going to drop a bit deeper in to energy space and exploring, where there may be some potential blocks in your energy and what needs to happen to help move the energy or release the energy. So go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose And you can let it out through your mouth whenever you're ready. And go ahead and take 3 deep breaths like that. So in through your nose and allow yourself to fully breathe into your heart and your belly. Allowing yourself to arrive here. And then last one. And just with that exhale, just release anything that you're needing to release. Just go ahead and let it go. Beautiful. So the first thing that I want to invite you to look at is, what amount of money are you desiring to call in right now? And go ahead and write that on your paper. I'll actually give you a few questions and then we'll go through the next step. So, what amount of money are you desiring to call in right now? What is it that you're actually selling right now? And what is the price of that? And then the next question is, how many clients are you desiring to call in? So, if you are desiring to call in $5,000, I'm just going to let the math be super simple, okay? You're desiring to call in $5,000. You are selling 3 months of coaching, and the price is $1,000, okay? So then if you're desiring to call in 5 people, that would add up, right? So just see, where you are in relationship to the numbers, and we're not judging any of this. My intention here is not to nitpick the math or do any of that, but just notice where you are in relationship to the numbers. So you might ask yourself, like, okay, how am I feeling right now just even looking at this? So if you wrote down that you want to bring in $5,000 this month, and your offer that you're offering is $100, you're offering a single session for $100. So then that means you have to sell 50, right? And so that can feel really overwhelming. So if you feel really overwhelmed right now as you're looking at this, just make a note of that. That is totally okay. If you feel discouraged, maybe you feel excited. Maybe you're like, oh, actually, this looks like a lot easier. Whatever it is, just kind of make a mental note. Okay, so now I have a few more questions for you. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, and I want you to use your body as a gauge. So actually, you can evaluate this from your mind And then you can check in with your body and see where your body is. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to check in and see that first number that you wrote of how much money you want to bring in. Do you believe that you can bring this money in this month? And so you're going to check in with your mind on a scale of 1 to 10. How much, where are you on that scale? And then I want you to check in with your body and notice on a scale of 1 to 10 where you are on that scale. And again, we're not judging ourselves. We're just noticing. We're getting some data. Okay, so then we're going to go to the next question, right? So the offer that you're selling, we're going to ask on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in selling this offer? So ask your mind, and then we're going to check in with your body. So how confident are you in the offer? It's really two questions, I guess. How confident are you in the offer? And then how confident are you selling the offer? So you should have 6 numbers by now. So you have the first question, and then you have the second piece, which has 2 questions. And then the third question that I want you to ask is on a scale of 1 to 10. And again, you're asking from your mind and then from your body, how available do you feel to receive the number of clients that you wrote down? Okay, so if there's a specific one of these questions that had you maybe tighten a little bit more, contract a little bit more, use that one specifically. I believe that they're all sort of connected, and you can come back and do this exercise more than once, but just for the purpose of me guiding you, just go ahead and pick one place where you want to begin. So what I want to invite you to do is notice how your body is feeling. So if you're working with bringing in $5,000 and you might have noticed like some heaviness maybe around your heart, or maybe your hips tightened up, I want you to notice how your body is feeling. And allow yourself to go closer to the sensations. And you can write this down if it's helpful for you. So get really curious. What is this? What is the heaviness? What is the tightness? Something that I see for a lot of people, and I've experienced this for myself, is sometimes we think it's about the actual money and it's not really about the money. So, what it's more about is if I allow myself to receive this, whether it's the amount of money or the clients, then what is it actually going to require of me? What am I going to have to give? So just see, if that rings true for you. What might happen if you allow yourself to receive? What might be required of you? What might be asked of you? Allow yourself to get really curious. This isn't about judging. This is about uncovering what's actually here, what's true in your system. Often, when we are holding a lot in our life already, navigating families, maybe you have a lot of responsibility with your family, with your children. You might have a health issue. Some of us just hold a lot of responsibility as part of who we are. It's like part of our construct. It can be extremely uncomfortable and scary to say yes to something else when you already feel like you're holding a lot. Even if what you're holding is a lot of energy, right? So if you're an empath and you hold a lot of people's emotions and you feel a lot of the energy in the collective, it can feel like a lot to allow something else to come into your space, especially something new and unknown. So just notice if there's parts of you that are afraid, parts of you that are uncertain, and maybe your story, right, or your reasoning, if it's a little different, that's okay too. Just get really clear. I'm just sharing this as an example. And then what I want to do, if you're willing, is let's get curious. Let's get curious about if there's an upgrade that's available for you. So sometimes what happens is we're so accustomed to holding ourself and holding energy a certain way, and it's what we've learned. It's what has kept us safe until this point. And so that's how we do it, right? And there can come moments where it's time for an upgrade, right? It's like the shoe doesn't fit anymore and you need a bigger size. It's time for an expansion. And so I want to hold some space, and we can call in our guides, our angels, our divine support team here to help us. The dragons have been extremely present for me. So if you like working with dragon energy, you can invite them in. Yeah, so just set up your support system. And sometimes that in itself, like I already feel like, whew, space, right? Like, oh yeah, there is so much support that's available. Yeah, just take a moment, take some breaths. You do not have to do this alone. Also, just know if you play with some things here and you don't like it, you can always go back. Nothing is permanent. You get to choose, you get to decide. Yeah, so we can just ask your divine support team to help you explore what else is possible here. And use your body as a guide. So really stay connected with your body through this. Notice how you're feeling in your body. You can ask as well, like if there's any past parts of you that are afraid, or maybe they're making the decision that they don't want to let more in. And this could be a little girl aspect. It could be a past life aspect. If there's any past parts of you that are blocking you or blocking the flow, you can ask them to come forward so you can see more clearly. And just get really curious. What do you notice? What do you notice about them, the story that they're holding? You're doing a really, really beautiful job. I can feel the energy beginning to open. Spaciousness is flowing in. As you're meeting these parts of yourself, get really curious. Is there a conversation that's needed to have? So if it's a little girl part of you and maybe it's something she's taught, there may be a conversation to explore, like, is that really useful now? Is it still true? And maybe you might have to show her some evidence, that it's not necessarily true. Or maybe there's a part of you that has been traumatized. For me, what came forward was this past life version of myself where I was a tribe leader and my village was burned. And this part of me, she was in a trauma response. She needed to save her people. She wanted to save her people. And it was a mix of grief and also like this survival energy of like having to save her people. And so as I met her, I actually did some healing work for her, me as the shaman that I am today. I met her and I asked her if I could do some healing work for her and for the tribe. So sometimes this is what it looks like, right? And as I built that trust within myself, with myself, as she softened to me, she was willing to take more of the back seat, right? And not try to lead the ship. I also want to invite in the Divine Mother here. Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Mother Earth, the Mama Lion, the Mama Bear. Even when we are holding, we are being held. Even when we are supporting others, we are being held. Even when we are serving, we are being served. Your breath, it is giving you life. You don't have to do anything for it. The sun, it is constantly just effortlessly, right, giving. It's what it does. It doesn't require energy. There is a place in you, your essence, that is very much the same. So allow yourself to breathe into that, remembering. There comes a time when allowing yourself to do the work that you are meant to do, allowing yourself to receive both clients and money, it is actually part of giving yourself space and permission to be who you are. It's time, my love. Take your time being here, and if you feel guided to share what came forward for you, I'd love to invite you to join the Soul Inspired Success community on Facebook. It's free, and you can connect with us there, or you can always email me at soulinspiredhealth@gmail.com and share with me there as well. I'm sending you so much love.